y'all another episode of my poor decisions and whatnot. So the video that you guys saw before this that pertained to the transmission, how I kind of went with the 4L60 and somehow landed with going with a 4L80 with a trans brake. Yeah, so here we are on that again. About to take a trip to John Viteo, but before I do that and actually get rid of these parts, and you'll never see them again because they'll be installed inside the transmission, I'm going to show you guys a couple of things. So the trans brake I decided to go with, there's quite a few companies that have it. A lot of them that I saw pretty much involve converting to a manual valve body, which is where you have to shift the gears all the time. It's not automatic as far as the computer controlling it for you, or even a TV cable for that matter. The Jake's D3 actually works with the computer, and the computer will shift it. So I definitely wanted something, since this is going to be a daily driver, that would be accommodating of that. And the D3 seems like it fits the bill. So I've seen plenty of people that actually have the D3 as far as like doing my research online. Not too many in person, but doing my research online, and they like it. There's a few guys that definitely explained a few things that they didn't like, but that's more so getting into how a trans brake works in general, because they have the D3, the regular, then they have the D3 Plus, and they also have the D3 Pro. So the D3 Pro is what I decided to go with. Do I need it? Absolutely not. But I, for some reason, decided that that's what I wanted to do. So definitely with the D3 Pro, the release is superior to the release of a lot of trans brakes, if not all of them. But I'm not honestly experienced enough to say that, you know, say that for a fact. So I'm just going to leave that alone. But they have other options, and like I said, with the D3 and the D3 Plus, the way that those operate is with the two solenoids, and they use AC Delco solenoids now that are better than the first set of solenoids according to Jake that they have now. And it's quite a few factors that can change your release time when it comes to actually, you know, releasing a button and actually taking off. So you have, for example, the temperature. I'll just stick with that, not to bore you to death. Temperature. When it's cold, oil's going to be a little thicker, so your release may not be as fast. But when the fluid's hot, you're probably going to be on the money, and it's going to be pretty consistent. Now, I mean, other than that, there are other factors, but once again, I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot so that the freaking transmission gurus can decapitate me on my regular channel. So yeah, let's go from there. All right, so it's snowing out here. It's definitely not the greatest of weather, but and it's actually supposed to storm pretty bad. I think it's going to be like, I don't know, like 2 feet, something like that. But getting ready to show you guys what I grabbed, the stuff that John Viteo pretty much told me that I should grab, especially if we're going with the trans brake and the 4L80-E. So show you guys what that stuff looks like, and the plan is to get it down to them and actually make it there and make it back safe before the stuff comes down a little too hard. Okay, so here's the Jake's D3 Pro trans brake. Now here's the, I'm not even going to really get into this because this is definitely obviously for the professional, which would be John Viteo that's doing my transmission. But it definitely seems like it's more than just, which I kind of knew that it was. It's more than just bolting on the valve body that's in here. And then once you bolt on the valve body, it's just, you know, done deal, run a few wires and you're good. That's not how this works. So there's a few modifications it looks like that's going to happen inside of the transmission as it's rebuilt to accommodate the D3 trans brake. So once again, D3 Pro, let me be specific, and we will get into why that is so specific. So a couple of things here that comes with it. You got this bag here that has a couple of solenoids in it, and also I see a spring in there, and a few wiring harnesses too. Well, not harnesses, but just a couple of short, maybe, I don't know, foot-long pieces of wire. Not even sure what that's for. Then it looks like here, this is the main meat and potatoes of it. This here is the actual D3 Pro from Jake's Performance. Okay, so here it is, finally unpacked. This here, as you can see, they wrote it here for me, so I definitely know that I have the right one. D3 Pro early. So this is for the early 4L80Es. My 4L80E is out of a 95, and I want to say pretty much 97 and up maybe 96, but I believe 97 and up is the number as to when things definitely change in the 4L80E. The 4L60, that's a whole different story. You got a lot of things that are very specific, especially with the AB solenoids, that are specific to the year. But for the most part, early, later, that's the differential between the two, is those 2 years. Now this one here, as you can see, this is the Griner style solenoid. It's direct acting solenoid. Definitely go check out Jake's Performance on YouTube, because they can definitely tell you specifically and give you way more than I can. I'm literally just a consumer. But Steve Griner was the one that actually came up with the style of solenoid here, and this is the fastest release that you can possibly get when it comes to a trans brake as of right now. And like I said, John Viteo, he's the man. He's going to be the one to install this and get the know-how that I don't have, and get this thing installed. So and also here, I mean, they definitely refinished the actual valve body, and they do modifications in certain spots. That's their thing. Even if I knew, not going to put it out there, that would be up to Jake himself to do. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice CNC machine piece, man. So hopefully, you know, this will all work out. Okay, back here. Now, it's wild how some of this stuff, as small as it is, can cost as much as it does. This here is what I was telling you guys about. Another thing that John Viteo told me to grab, especially since I was going with a trans brake. This is the input shaft for the 4L80E. Now, there's a difference in material, and I'll show you guys this one. So this here is a billet input shaft, but it's not just billet. There is a difference in the billet. This billet is the 300M material billet input shaft, and I mean, looking at it, I kind of can see, like, just having the feel to it and looking at the craftsmanship, this thing is nice, man. This one here is from FTI, and they had it in stock. Definitely wanted to get the stuff as soon as possible, so when he said the word, I was ready to go and had everything that I needed. But this is also going on a trip over there, which is, that's like a crucial piece, you know, as far as me not breaking anything the first time that I actually use a trans brake and just screw myself over. So definitely took the man's advice, grabbed this, and yeah, gonna take this over as well, along with the actual D3 trans brake. Okay, so now that you guys saw the trans brake, Jake's Performance D3, I mean, once again, definitely go to the other channels that actually tell you more on it, because I mean, obviously, go to Jake's Performance on YouTube, go to Jake's Performance on Facebook. They'll have a lot more information. There's actually videos that I'm watching now of guys that really got a deep understanding that I can comprehend, and they're explaining it pretty well. So highly recommend to go and check out those guys and their channels to really get the nitty-gritty on how this thing works. So here's all the stuff. I mean, pretty much there's not much to it. It's literally just the trans brake, the D3-Pro, and the freaking input shaft. I still have to work on what's that called, the oil pan, but that's something I'm going to have to get. That's going to be another trip over there, probably to, you know, go drop off some more money, drop off the trans pan and whatnot, and, you know, get it out the way. So once that stuff's done, that'll pretty much be it. I think it's the oil pan, and I'm probably missing maybe what the heck, oil pan. I gotta get a dipstick, and I know I'm missing something else. I just can't think of it right now, but we'll get there. Okay, so we're not taking this bad boy. We're taking the trusty old minivan this time. The trusty old minivan. All right, so we about to head out, man. I mean, it's going to be like super dark, so you guys are definitely not going to be able to see much. Just like last time when I drove up there and it was like pitch freaking black and you couldn't see much of anything. But long road trip, like I said, dude's almost like 2 hours away from me, so I try not to make it a habit, if I can help it, to have to make too many trips. So yeah, hopefully my next trip will probably be maybe, I guess, me taking up the oil pan, and like I said, I think I'm forgetting something else. And the shift shaft. Now, I did order a Sonnax one. It just sucks because I ordered it, I want to say probably like, it is not Summit's fault, probably about a month ago, and it was buying it through Sonnax from the manufacturer, but it has not shipped yet. So, I mean, I bought another one, different company, and I got it today. It'll be in a couple of days, so worst case scenario, I'll be making another trip up there before the final trip to actually buy it and pick it up. So, we'll see, man. But it's time to hit the road, so holla at y'all. Okay, so here's the next one. This here is the trans oil pan. Now, this one's from FTI. I did get it from Summit Racing, but it's an FTI. There's the part number right there, F8013. I don't know why, it seems like it's freaking fuzzy on the camera, but whatever. So going in the box here, it's not one that's like super duper fancy looking. This one honestly is like the super duper generic version of, I guess, the oil pan. It's definitely solid. It gets the job done. It's a great oil pan to get because, I mean, honestly, there's reviews for it everywhere, but there's multiple companies that has this oil pan, and they all sell it. It's like a blank casting, and like I said, super generic. But there, it comes with the, this is the extension for the oil filter, the pickup filter. Then of course you got your bolts there, and these are Allen key style. You can get them with a hex head depending on where you order them from. And there's the seal in there too. I forgot what this other little bracket thing is that's in here, but whatever. All right, so we're gonna get the pan out to get you guys kind of a better look, see what it looks like. All right, so here it is out of the wrapper. And yeah, you can tell that it's deeper. Definitely sits, I want to say, probably an extra 2 inches lower than the other one, maybe an inch somewhere around there. But I actually have to look at the listing. I don't remember. But it has a drain plug in it. We'll see that when we flip it over on the other side. Very thick casting, so you don't have to worry about anything like warping or whatnot. When you do go to tighten it down, it's all going to stay flat and flush. Holds 2 extra quarts. So that's a plus. And of course, when it comes to keeping it cool, it's already made out of aluminum. Extra fluid in general, that helps keep it cool. And flip it on the other side. There we are. So here, once again, this is the bolt. And of course, the bolt itself has a magnetic tip, so they can attract any type of, hopefully this doesn't happen to you, but any type of material or whatnot. And it also has a nylon washer just to help keep the seal. That's probably something that may have to get replaced from time to time, but probably not often because it's not like you're going to be servicing this thing a whole bunch of times. So again, pretty thick casting, and it definitely is going to get the job done. Now, again, it doesn't look super duper like racy, but for the price point, this definitely does a job. You're going to see these things on a whole bunch of different websites. You're going to see them sold by FTI on their website, sold by Summit Racing on their website. Jegs has one. Speedmaster has this, but it's black and it's shaved, and it's an additional $50. But yeah, this here off of Summit Racing, the FTI one, this was the best priced. And like I said, same thing across the board. Other than this, you can easily be spending $300 and something, $400 on these things. They can get really nuts when it comes to pricing. But yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I mean, you figure you got to go all the way. Make sure you cover, cross your T's, dot your I's, and get what you need. So that way you don't have to run any issues or, worry about overheating and then your investment was for nothing. So this is also going to go over to John Viteo, along with one other part that I'm waiting on. And we're going to get to that. Okay, so here we are. These are pretty much like the last remaining pieces that I had to get so I can send it off to John Viteo and he can finish up the 4L80-E. one of the main things, just to make sure everything does work and line up the way that I want it to, I still kept a neutral safety switch. Now, I got a new one. I ordered this one. I can't remember if it was from Amazon or Summit, but I believe it was Summit. Yeah, actually, yeah, I ordered this from Summit. I also ordered the Sonnax shift shaft, but that didn't work out. They still haven't shipped it yet. So I had to go on eBay and grab another one. Now, this is why it's important that this works out. So that's the shift shaft itself. It comes with nuts on each end, and it also comes with the seal that's in here. So that's the seal that's actually going to go into the transmission case. But one of the reasons why it's necessary for me to get one is because I have a 95 model. I needed to get a shift shaft that was for a later model. So instead of the early model that I have, this one is for the late model 80Es. Now the difference is this here, this keyway, this part is actually longer on the later models than the earlier models. And reason being is because the earlier models didn't have a neutral safety switch. It was just literally just this and your shift lever and call it a day. Probably worked off a TV cable, something like that. So with having this extra length, what it does is once you actually take the nut off the end and see it, it gives you enough length to actually go through and engage this thing, but also engaging in it, it'll stick out just enough so that way you can still put your shift lever on. With the other models, this isn't long enough, so you need enough engagement to go through, make it all the way, and still have that keyway sticking out to actually go on the lever of your transmission. So now that I have these laid out, that's pretty much it. This is the last pieces of the puzzle. I just have to get this stuff together, box it up, put it inside the box with the oil pan, and ship it off to him. I could take the drive, but he even suggested, why don't you just ship this stuff, man? Save yourself some bucks on a turnpike and gas, because I mean 2 hours is 2 hours regardless how you slice it. So yep, time to package this stuff up and get it out of here. All right, so this is the last bit of what I gotta send out to John. Got the dang oil pan in the box ready to go. Car parts, got those together, toss those in. Here's the shift shaft that I need, got that in there. And I was going to toss in a neutral safety, but I'll just wait until I get it back and then put this on myself. Because I don't even know what I did with the bolts to bolt it onto the side of the case. But yeah, just gotta package this up and get it out of here. You know what, can you do me a favor? Can you grab me a Sharpie? Or tell me where it is, I'll be back in to get it. Oh boy. All right, we get this thing in here. It's going right where the kids go. Dang it. Oh, thank you. I'll take it as a compliment. All right, so after I just got grinded up by my neighbor, Miss Gloria, we're gonna go to the post office, man. I was thinking about it. I wasn't sure if I was gonna go with USPS again because I sent my early valve body to Jake's Performance and they didn't get it. They got an empty box that said no contents when received. So I don't know. I'm probably just gonna take it to USPS and I'll just roll a dice again. I don't know. You know Miss Gloria grinding me up? Oh, wow. She said, ha ha, you look like sunshine. I was like, yeah, drawn.
She said it to you before she's ever said it to me.
Wow. Wow. I just pray that they don't freaking break the damn box. You know what I think with that other one too? Because it was heavy, the valve body, I think somebody freaking thought it was like, I don't know, like money or drugs or something, ripped it open and take it.
And tried to take what was in it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Wouldn't be surprised. I need my phone. I've gotta get freaking John's address. So I'll be back.
Okay. I don't want to get carjacked, so I Keep it low. There you go.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Oh boy. All right, we good. Okay, so it is the dreary AM and all the snow has melted. And John Viteo gave me the call. So we kind of had to work around each other's schedule. I have to go to a birthday party tomorrow with my kid, well, one of my kids. And and John actually has a birthday party today. So I'm not gonna be able to pick up the trans until Sunday. So I just had to get these new tires because these are jacked. So it's weird because even looking on here, there's actually like a decent amount of tread, but on the outside, you see it's like kind of worn off to the sides. It looked worse than it actually is when I was like in the snow. And I definitely was like, I can't have my old lady and my kids out here, you know, on those tires. So that's what made me jump the gun and get these. So ordered these off Amazon. They were like $100 each. But I was gonna rotate the tires, but I was like, you know what? Let me just get brand new ones because they're already close to the point where they should be replaced. So instead of rotating, just got a fresh pair, especially hitting the road to go see John. Again, because John is hours away. Well, I don't know, maybe I'm over exaggerating. Hour 45 minutes is close enough, so yeah.
One second. You too.
Yo.
Well, I really don't like your ass.
Yo.
You always answer the phone for Rob and shit.
And this truck stop getting busy, man. Getting busy. Gotta eat like I'm broke. Cause I just got that truck. Ooh, look at that, look at that. Look at that right there. Hold up. Hold up. All right, y'all, back out here again. If y'all remember, this is the same truck stock I was at when I was called a psycho for eating 7-Eleven pizza. And this time, we got 7-Eleven cheeseburgers. Definitely on a budget. It's like so late that I can actually walk through a freaking drive-through of Starbucks and not get hit because they're closed. But yeah, just went over to John, picked up the transmission. He explained a lot of things that I'm definitely going to explain to you guys, so you don't make the mistakes that I was about to make. But thanks to him, I'm not going to make those mistakes. But yeah, we got it, man. We finally picked it up. Ooh, yeah. I mean, the thing is, honestly, it's not much to look at right now because it's literally just a black case. That's the deep aluminum pan that I showed you guys. And here is the shift shaft that I was telling you guys about. See how much longer that sticks out? Necessary. I already told you that, but it'll come into play more later. And there's the new harness. And inside, he explains something that I'll have to get into detail with you later. But long story short, the top 2 pins on the right-hand side, I have to wire those up directly in order to activate the trans brake. Those are the 2 that I need to tap into. It would have been nice to actually be able to go into the back and, you know, into his shop area and whatnot to like kind of do a once over with him. But I mean, the yard was pretty bad. We've definitely had some bad weather up this way in the Pennsylvania area. A lot of snow and the rain followed it. It literally rained today and it's supposed to rain tomorrow. So that wasn't even an option. So we just met up, literally backed the 2 vehicles up, swapped out. He explained everything, paid the man, and good. And that was it. So yeah, we got it. So here's the shaft that I was talking about that comes on the late models that have the extension out here. It's longer than the one that came in this transmission that was meant for the earlier models, which this one is. Yeah, this is the one. It's in here, and this is what I meant. So just to kind of show you, in case you didn't get it earlier, because I'm about to install this neutral safety switch. Now, this one is going to install in the front hole here, in the most rear. If I had the 4L80-E, it would be in the front hole, and it would be in that mid hole right back here. That's how it would install on the side of the transmission. But what you have to do is, this one, I believe all of them will come this way, but this is the first one that I've bought. It already comes with a tool, or whatever you want to call it here. This thin metal holds it in place in the proper position so that you can install it properly. Now, as of right now, from what I can see, you have to take the transmission and put it into neutral. Once it's in neutral, then you can take it and slide this on, and it should pop on with no problem. So that's what we're going to try now. All right, so just took the bolts that I had in here out. Had to clean these holes out because this transmission didn't have a neutral safety switch. So got in here really good with a wire wheel just to clear these up. These still gave me a bit of an issue. They're brand new stainless steel. Just ordered them stainless because I figured they look better. And had to go in and actually use the ratchet to spin it some, and it loosened up kind of as I went. But anyway, when it comes to the shaft here and actually getting it in position, so what I did, just to let you know, let's just say you don't know where it is, right? When you take this and you spin it to the right, that actually pushed the shift lever up this way. So that's park. So in order to get it in the park, I'm going to go all the way to the right. Boom. Okay, so that's park. So now that I'm in park, in order to get in the neutral, the way that our pattern works on these transmissions, you're already in park. You go one click, you're in reverse. You go another click, you're in neutral. So I'm going to take it here and go reverse, neutral. So now that we're in neutral, this should line up and slide right on. I did put a slight thin layer of grease on there just so it slides a little easier. Oh, wow. There it is. Slid on in place. And it's in neutral. So you can see this back hole lines up. And like I said, this one isn't being used because it's the, what the heck is that called? This one isn't being used because this is the 4L80-E, not the 60. So it's just this back one and this front one. Also, one thing I did notice is up here, that's a really crappy place to be, because if I did have to take this out to get like a oil temp sensor, to put the temp sensor in here, I literally would have to fight through this in order to get there because of how it lines up. So most likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my temp sensor in here and just have an extra, I don't know, foot of wire coming off that I can work with a little more easier than trying to fight behind this while it's in a trans tunnel. All right, and there it is. Got the bolts in, snubbed them up. And one thing to note too, when it comes to these things that are a bugger, when it comes to the ones in the car, GM from the factory actually uses a silicone glue in order to hold these in. I thought I was crazy, but when I went to work on my transmission in the Kodiak, the 4L60E, getting these out, I felt like I was just going to snap this thing. And that's why. Now I know it's because it was glued in, not just pushed in. Okay, now speed sensors. Got your front speed sensor and your rear speed sensor. Now in the two-wheel drives, they use these two as speed sensors, these two slots. But when you have a four-wheel drive, if I'm not mistaken, well, no, I know for a fact one of these isn't used. One is used and the other one goes to the transfer case. So that's the secondary. Now, I can't remember which one it is. I've seen it on the video already. But anyway, in this application, all we're worried about is these two. Now, these could be fine. I mean, this one does have a chip off the bottom as far as where it plugs into it. But I figured, you know, they're not expensive. I think it was like 30-something bucks, but I got another set. Now, I'm not sure if all of this extra hunk of metal is for like, it serves a purpose, but I don't need it. So I'm definitely probably going to end up hacking off this here and probably hacking this tab off too. But I'm just going to set them in place first before I jump the gun, just to see if it's going to be any type of issue. So getting these out, already loosened it up. It's oh, this is a 13. Dang it, I need an 18. Oh, said 18. I need an 8, man. All right, boom. So here's the 8. Already loosened them up. Just gotta take hand tighten them out, and I guess take a gander at them. Why not? Wiggle spin. Oh, there we go. Ah, okay, so he must have already put the glue, well, not glue, but put some grease on there just so it was went in and out easy. If that's the case, I'm not going to add the grease I thought I was going to add. Not a whole bunch. I'm just going to put just a little bit on the outside of the ring here, just so it wouldn't seize up or anything like that. But with the stuff he already put in here, I'm just going to put these in and tighten it up. Okay, so kind of test fitting this, it kind of seems a bit too much. What I mean by that is, this up here, I'm quite sure probably lines up with the same one on the back when I do put the other one on. And it probably held some sort of a plate in place. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But this bottom one here, it just seems like it's just more things to try to fight around in order to try to get to this temp sensor. Even though I'm going to put it in ahead of time, just so I don't have to fight with it in the car, I think I'm just going to go for it and just hack these extra pieces off. And just comparing the two, this one has, I guess, the metal magnet exposed, and this one, it's covered up. Also, looking at the bottom here, the connections are the same. So that's a relief. Wasn't sure, but the connections are the same. All right, so in the rear of this one, you can see, I guess you can call it a reluctor wheel in here, what gives off the signal, or pretty much what that thing reads. I can see the rear one. Now I'm gonna check the front. Okay, and there's the one in the front. That one seems like it's slightly thicker, but yeah, so I can see it. So yeah, they're both there. And like I said, the 4-wheel drives, one of these doesn't have a gear. I think it's the rear. I could be wrong. All right, so they're both in. I can't find my freaking cutter, so I just left them in there for now. Maybe I'll do it later and cut those extra tabs off. But yeah, as an overall, like I said, this is going to be an issue getting to because it's behind this. Then even here, this runs, I want to say, really close in path with this as far as my finger, so that may be sucky to get to. Then over here, not so bad. This is right here. The only thing is that it's in close proximity with this bolt, which I won't need because I have a B&M floor shifter already in my truck. So my bracket actually bolts up with the bottom 2 bolts on the pan to go up to the lever. So I don't really have to worry about this one back here. All right, y'all, so that's all of it, man. It's all in and it's put together. Next thing is to get a freaking torque converter. And most likely I'm going with Pro Torque because they're local, especially to the area I'm in, Philly, Jersey, Delaware area. I can go there and talk to those guys and build up a good rapport, or at least that's the hope. And also, it's some really fast guys in the US that run Pro Torque. So I know for a fact going with them, I'm going to be good to go. But it's a process, piece by piece. I'm just going to tuck this thing away, sit on it for a bit, and then eventually put it in and then go from there. That's a whole nother adventure in itself. But all right, man, I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully next time I'm not in the back of the minivan, but see y'all, man. Peace.